Hey, what's up guys, it's Twan, and in this video today I wanted to give you my #1 pro tip on how to be a better Apex player. Now, these 3 games I have for you today are very high killed games, and there's just something that I've noticed in pattern within these 3 games, so I wanted to point them out as we go. This isn't like my normal games where I just have it playing with my live commentary in the back. No, I'm going to voice over and dub over these games so I could explain exactly what is going through my head, and I can help you guys understand just the better decision making that I'm making as I'm playing these games, because I'm trying to get better at this game. And it does take time. It does take some time, and you do have to look over your games to just see how you're improving. And I feel like this will be a good way for me to better myself as a player, and maybe you guys can find some good information in these games as well. So without further ado, let's just get straight into the video. This is my #1 pro tip on how to be a better Apex player. Now in this game right here, we landed very late into caustic treatment, so we wanted to push up from this small town outside of it and to see if we couldn't find any stragglers or maybe get some better loot that we just couldn't find initially. And then we run into this 2 team right here. I noticed that the Gibby bubbles early, so I slowly push up, not giving him really a chance to really peek out of his bubble. Slowly pushing up, he begins to retreat to try and get back to his teammate. But the Pathfinder really doesn't have a chance, and notice how I don't jump up on this platform right here. That's on purpose. I don't jump up on this platform because it gives me solid cover in order for me to 3-tap this Pathfinder with the wingman. And now that I know that that Pathfinder is taken out, I'm able to comfortably get up on this ledge and take out the Gibby. So pushing into caustic treatment a little bit, we eventually find a little bit more ammo for me and my 2 heavy guns, the wingman and flatline. We notice that there's still a squad in the back left corner of the field. They miss their scan, and we slowly begin to push up on the alternate side of their scan. Hearing them inside, I know it's okay to push this room because it should be clear. So I smoke this front door so they don't have a line of sight. And knowing that I have a Bloodhound, I know that he can scan the enemies so I can see through the smoke. Looking to see if we can't get any chip damage, we begin to throw grenades into this room to see if we can't push them out just a little bit further. This is where I make my first mistake. I should not have pushed this with this much health, so I push back. And now that I know that they're both outside and they can't push that left door, I know all I have to do is hard focus this right door. And I get bamboozled every single time.
Oh, it's 2.
Knowing that both enemies are flesh, I begin to take this left balcony to get a little bit of an advantage over the enemy. And thanks to my teammate's Bloodhound scan, I know exactly when the enemy is going to push this door, making it an easy kill for me, and I go to assist my teammate. I get 1 clean hit on him knowing he's flesh, so I'm very comfortable of taking this fight. I don't give him any advantage and use this box as cover as best as I can. Still not showing my entire body, I use this ledge right here in front of me as cover so he can't get a clean shot on me. And then I notice this Bloodhound over here using my gold shield as self-revive. Doesn't he know that's not his? Let's listen in. He almost used my gold shield. What the heck? How dare you? This was not yours to use. Now pushing this fight, we scan this building and we see a Pathfinder on top. But he's not moving, so I feel very comfortable of just pushing straight ahead and getting a clean headshot on him. I don't know why he wasn't moving. He wasn't even scanning that beacon, so he could have just been AFK. That was an easy kill. Noticing a team on Charge Tower, I begin to take some pop shots just to see what kind of armor we're working with. Has purple armor? So now we have all the information that we need to take this fight. I go to the Charge Tower, get my ult, and then push this building, knowing that they're behind us. Now I need my teammate to scan west so we know exactly what we're working with and how I can reposition myself on this doorway. I see the lifeline running straight at me, and I line up a clean headshot and take her out of the fight. And then I see my teammate having to deal with a Horizon, so I begin to help as much as possible while avoiding the lifeline to my left. Letting her in, she runs straight into another clean headshot, and I chase her up to the balcony. Now, I did not expect this Horizon to be up here. I completely just was very ignorant to her being up here. But I'm able to use these 2 canisters in front of me as cover and just dance around her. Easy armor swap, and I don't even give her a chance. Watching her go into that doorway, I know she's probably going to be watching that door and or blocking it, so I very quickly just run back in through my door and then try and get a cheeky little peek on her. Smoke my teammate for an easy res, and then I go and hit this quick armor swap just in case an enemy starts to push us for the third party. I have no idea where they're at, so I throw an ult, get my teammate inside, trying to punch him through the door just for a little bit of speed, but miss. But get the res. Now I notice there's an enemy horizon queue, so we slowly push up. Now I wait for my teammate, trying not to be a little bit too eager to peek that corner by myself. I wait for his scan, and then we push together. Now I saw that enemy who was knocked to the very top right corner, and I wasn't sure that if he was knocked or standing. So I give a call out to my teammate, letting him know that I did see someone over there, but I'm not sure if he's up. We scan again and don't see any sight of anyone, so we know it's clear to loot. I ping that area just in case to let my teammate know that I'm slightly positive that there's someone over there, but I'm not entirely sure. And then we push up together.
Are they fighting? Final fight? Final fight right now?
Now we know there's a rampart in front of us, and she's probably going to set up her turret, so we begin to loot as much as we can, and then we slowly start to rotate as a far right. But my teammate isn't as quick, and he doesn't notice the incoming storm, so he does trail a little behind. I try to smoke him to make it easier for my teammate to just run straight through the open no man's land, but unfortunately for us, he gets knocked. And that's really unfortunate because it would have been really nice to have his scan for the rest of this game. And there was really no reason for him to get down. What I should have done here is I should have threw a heat shield on top of him. But I wasn't expecting him to get knocked by the storm, so I wasn't really mentally prepared for that. So unfortunately, he does go down. So I flank around the back corner to see if I can get a little bit more information on the other team, because I do know there is a top 3 going on right now, and then I immediately get shot in the back by the Pathfinder, who I just didn't notice. He was very clearly up on that hill, and I just did not notice him up there. So I use this box to my advantage to try and take as much cover as possible, and know that he's throwing grenades at me. I have to come back to these rocks. Now, this is my big brain play here. I plan on taking this long left flank to see if I can't get behind the double team that I know is about to happen in front of me. But unfortunately for me, the Gibby had a bigger brain and he knew exactly what I was planning.
Alright dude, I'm sorry, I won't do it again.
I begin to hear enemy footsteps and immediately have to turn back to run. Now I do notice in my inventory right now I'm working with a flatline and a wingman, and in end zone this isn't exactly what I wanted to be working with. So I make a call out to my teammate to ask what kind of guns he was carrying, and lucky for me he was using the Mastiff. So I make a quick jog to his box and switch out my wingman for a full-on Mastiff, making it a little bit more easier for me to fight in the endgame. I hear the enemy zipline atop of me on top of these rocks, but I'm not exactly sure of where he was going to land. So I need to reposition myself so I can get ready for any kind of just shenanigans that he's planning. Now we're in a Discord call right here, and I hear one of my friends just singing to himself, so very quickly I deafen myself so I can focus up. And just like that, that's an easy one clip on this Pathfinder. But unfortunately for me, I thought I heard some enemies behind me and I panic ult the left corner. Quick little armor swap and I'm back in the fight. Now these two right here pull up extremely ignorant on me, but I think they do not push as hard because I ulted on my left and they think it's coming straight towards them. So I'm able to double back on this rock and just take a little bit more cover and ready myself for the final fight. I know the enemy rampart is doubled up behind her shields because of those blue bullets that were flying my way, so I quickly throw a thermite on top of her to see if I can't just get her to force out of that shield. I break the shield and try and challenge the rampart, but I quickly have to hit an armor swap because she hits me a little bit too low. So I'm dancing on this enemy's armor swap and trying my best to just force one of them down, and then I get the rampart down. So as I knock the rampart, this is what I should have done. I should have threw down a heat shield and healed inside of the zone, because if you don't know, you have double the speed while healing in zone. And unfortunately for me, I push a little bit too hard and this Gibby one clips me. If I would have had full health, maybe I would have won that fight. But the Gibby does have fortified, and that's just unfortunate for me. So in this fight, yes, my positioning was really good, probably the best that I could do in the situation that I had, but I didn't heal. Why did I not heal? I don't know. That's something I have to work on personally. I just need to heal a little bit more. If I would have done that, that would have been an easy victory for me. Now let's get on to game 2. So quickly into game 2, we eventually find ourselves running into a 1v3 situation against a Gibby who's a little bit cracked out of his mind. I pop his shield and I feel comfortable enough just running straight at him, and I easily hit a clean headshot on him. Ending him with a finisher, I'm able to heal up my blue shield and quickly swap to his purple. Now, the reason I did that is because I knew my teammates didn't have any shields of their own because we dropped a little bit late, so now they're able to switch off onto a blue shield to make it a little bit more comfortable in the next fight. We regroup back at the main building to see if we can't get our bearings and find the rest of his team. Eventually we get our Crypto to go into his drone and he's able to scout out the last member of his team, which I get a little bit too gung-ho and ult immediately on top of them. But I knew my Crypto was going to keep track of him in his drone, giving me all the information that I needed to take this fight cleanly. Now look at this head glitch that I have right here on this ledge. I do not push this enemy anymore, I only stay on this ledge because I know he does not have a clear sight of my entire body. But I'm very confident in my abilities to just hit him with a very clean headshot and finish the fight. After seeing the enemy res, we jump on the zipline in order to get an advantage on the enemy. Knowing that he's not going to have anything in his inventory, I feel comfortable enough to push on my own, without my teammate with me. I push in this building and find a clusterfuck of enemies, just waiting to be one-clipped. I take out the Octane, jump out this window, and immediately run into a Rampart. I one-clip her, jump back in, and immediately do the same to a Gibby, taking out both teams without any effort. Giving my team and I enough time to lose, so we are finally back in this game. Eventually, we push up out of bunker and find another team over here in the crafting. Without my team, I don't feel safe enough to just push on my own, so I just give it a little bit of time and wait for them to come with me. Eventually, they make their way to their building and we slowly start to push, while I start throwing nades so the enemy cannot make it out of this little nook that they're stuck in. I notice that one of them have blue and the other one has purple, so I wait for my teammate to approach so we can finally make our play. And then once my teammate finally is able to get a clean knock on one of them, I realize it's time for us to go in. So I hit an easy zipline up top of the tree and see if I can't get behind them while my team pushes from the front. I know the crafter is here, so I'm able to use this as cover, so I jump down onto the fuse and see what I can work with. Using the crafting for cover, I easily take out the fuse and just dance around this Bangalore, getting the easy squad wipe for me and my team. We quickly heal up and see if we can't make our way deeper into the zone.
Nice, good job.
Give my team a little moral support, just so we can get our heads in the right spot, and then we eventually push up. Now let's listen into these comms, because these are perfect.
Oh, team way over there. Oh my god, they're freaks. Oh no.
And notice that they might be a little too much for my team to handle, so we eventually circle our way back into the zone to see if we could find a new positioning. Now coming up behind this team, I noticed that my team isn't with me, so we can't just hit a team wipe on this guy who is just completely oblivious to us being behind him. So I have to wait for my team to rendezvous up next to me. Now with not enough information, it's hard for me to make a play here, so we wait for the enemy to make a misplay and then we just take advantage of them being out in the open. I know the Gibby has a charge rifle, so he isn't really top priority, but then I see this guy over to my right side just being out of position, and I lay into him, breaking his shield and making him flesh. So I push around the right, and I notice this car in front of me that I could use for cover. I've used it many times in the past, and it's very good to just dance around. I quickly take out the fuse and run to the right side of this truck to see if I can't find the other Bangalore that I know is out in front of me, which I take out in the smoke. And like I said before, the Gibby has a charge rifle, so it's very easy for us to just push straight ahead into the Gibby and get a clean quad wipe.
Don't let that other team come up behind us. Don't let them come up behind us.
Now this is where I mess up. I have no idea where the enemy team is on the other side of this wall in front of us, so I should not have pushed further past this truck. I should have used this truck as cover as I did for the first team, making it easier for us to win this fight. But that's not what I do, and I immediately run into an Octane with R9 and immediately just lose my shield. Trying to rat and hit this quick bat, this Octane just apes me and I'm out of the fight. Luckily for us though, our Crypto had some great thinking, and then he pulled out his drone and quickly ulted the enemy teams, dropping all of their shields, so now they just needed to be one-tapped. My teammate goes down, just leaving the Crypto, and unfortunately for us, that's the end of the fight. Now whatever I should have done differently right there, I should not have pushed that wall. Pushing that wall was the reason that we lost the fight. I had no idea where the enemy team was. They could have jumped up on that wall at any time, which they did, and one clipped my armor, causing them to ape us. making us lose the fight. And then after this game, I realized that my positioning has just been all out of whack, so we reassess ourselves and then realize that we just need to focus on our positioning. Our positioning is what keeps losing us these games. So as long as we have good positioning, we'll be able to win more games, so we do that in this third fight. Let's get into it. So getting into this third game, notice that we switched over back to duos. Unlike the first two games, we don't drop late and actually drop at a suitable amount of time. I noticed over the comms that my friend is listening to a Naruto review video about his Rasen Shuriken, and it only reminded me all of my hate and disdain for that jutsu specifically, because it had a plot device that was only relevant for 3 or 4 episodes. As a big fan of Naruto, this really annoyed me. But as we drop into Lab's interior, I realize that I have been silenced and there is a team on us. Quickly running around to see if I could find any loot, I managed to find myself a longbow and a wingman that I could use to no prevail. I read it up for a little bit so I can quickly run by and pick up my teammate who has been knocked and killed within the first couple minutes of this match. Lanny, you suck. Taking the portal out of Labs, I fly to the nearest respawn, where I quickly run into another team. The Wraith queues away and then I instantly have to start a 1v1, where I missed most of my shots with a wingman, so I have to switch over to my longbow. Landing as many shots as I can, I realize I'm not going to be able to take this respawn beacon and I have to back away. Using my smoke for cover, I'm able to make a hasty retreat and find me another beacon where I could res my already down teammate. Landing here in No Name, I realize it's probably safe for me to hit this respawn beacon, so I pop a smoke and try and get him back up and into the fight as fast as possible. I loot just a little bit to see if I could find some meds and try and reevaluate the situation that we got ourselves in. Realizing that there's not enough loot for the both of us, we quickly run around the map to see if we can't find any loot within the neighboring towns. Eventually, we make our way back to No Name, and we find that there's already 2 teams here that are already fighting. So I quickly pop my ult and throw it just to get a little diversion going, and then I realize that both teams are in this main building. I crack the Octane and see if I can't get a better positioning on him so I can finish the kill. As I climb this roof, I realize this Gibby has no idea what he's doing, so I quickly crack his shield and turn to fight the other enemies who have a little bit of understanding what positioning is in this game. I realize I don't finish off the Gibby, and I know my teammate is very capable of handling this 1v2 situation that I put him in, so I quickly run away so I can find the Gibby and kill him myself. Good luck, Lanny. I find the Gibby, finish him off before he pops his bat, and quickly rendezvous with my teammate to see if I can't help him out with whoever is left. Get a quick little shield swap, and then I'm back on the roof. Noticing my teammate is just running straight in, I decide to follow him up so we can just get a quick little 2v1 in this on the situation and just finish off this enemy. I missed most of my shots and have to pull out my wingman, and in this situation right here, there's no reason to be aiming down the sights. When you're at this range, please hip fire, you will hit most of your shots. Now with only 4 squads left in the game, we make our way back to the main circle and realize that the last couple squads are already fighting. So I pop my ult and try and find myself a position where I can easily just pick off the enemies one by one and as safe as possible. I noticed this Wraith queue over being completely oblivious to us on its left. I'm able to get behind her and we're able to easily just take her out. Noticing her teammate on the staircase, we're able to take him out just as easy. Noticing that there are 3 squads left, I hear the enemy crypto drone take off into the sky, and I realize that he's going to EMP the enemy team, so we try to reposition ourselves in a state that it is easier for us to pick off the enemies one by one. And since the 2 remaining squads are already in a heated battle, me and my teammates split up on either sides of the house. I'm able to take out the crypto and slowly push up on this house. Noticing that the Bangalore is slowly rezzing her teammate, I'm not able to secure a kill, but I do push into the house, which was a little bit of a mistake. I should have just doubled back and tried to go and help my teammate out as best as possible. My teammate gets instant knocked and thirsted by the fuse, forcing me to pull back and to hit a battery so I can get myself back to full health. And unfortunately, like I said, because my teammate got thirsted, this is forcing me to play a little awkwardly.
That was it right there.
And for a split second, I think it's over. There's really not much that I could do against 1 full team and 1 rat, so I'm starting to believe that this game is also a dud. Eventually, I push up to the house to see if I can get the advantage on the enemy, but then I realize that there is 1 spawn beacon left on the field. So I jump off, grab my friend's beacon, and push down to the respawn point.
Good luck, have fun.
Luckily, the enemies get into a little fight, so I'm able to fully respawn my teammate back to the map, and we're able to push back up to the original Wraith boxes that we knocked in the beginning. With not a lot of time left, I realize that the final two teams are still fighting and there is still a chance for us to win this game. We push up on the left side of the map and see if we can't take cover behind these boxes while the team is in the middle of a fight. Repositioning myself onto the top of the house, I get a little bit of an advantage on the enemy and I'm able to just pop their shields and just do a little bit of carnage. Now I get a little bit too far ahead of my teammate here, so I realize I have to double back and rendezvous back with my teammate. So I try to use these boxes in front of us as some cover.
They're right here in this little bunker. Crack one of them. Dead. The other one is... I have no idea, actually.
Now dancing around these boxes, the Crypto makes a terrible play and pushes a little bit too far away from his teammate Fuse. And we're able to knock him down without any effort. And now with only the Fuse left, I realize he has to be in this little pillbox. So I flank around and see if I can just spray through this fire. And I know he's on one of the two corners. I choose one, got lucky, take him down. And here I'll let you listen into these comms so you can get a little bit of an understanding of what I'm thinking. Thanks for watching.
Flare, you got picked up twice this game.
Yeah, that happens.
Looky here, Apex champions. Good on ya.
Like a lot of people care about too.
Introducing your champion. Ace, mate. Let's
Wow.
Wow.
stay on me. On the jump off.
That is hilarious. It
Even when you're part of
knows.
the fucking champion.
It knows. Oh, I got the hiccups now. No.
Good.
Come by Casa de Octane for a cold one.